Well, they blew up all the chickens in Bonanza last night. Now they burned down the jobs board too. Down at the Showdown, they're getting ready for a fight. Gonna see what them merchant boys can do. Now there's trouble busting in from CBS, and Jonathan Cars can't get no relief. Gonna be a rumble by the microwave, and the town council's hanging on by the skin of their teeth. Well, now everyone cries, baby, that's a fact. But everyone that cries chugs their root beer back. Put your gold star on, get your bandana pretty, and meet me at Kid Nation in Bonanza City.
Howdy.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Nation. Episode 8.
I mean, if you're starved for entertainment, this podcast episode is perfect for you because we're covering episode 8, Starved for Entertainment.
You know, I thought we'd only bring up the core, aka the quarantine, maybe just a little bit, because, kind of old news at this point, right, guys? But this is really following the path of quarantine. It's kind of scary. The last about being money and funds and stability, and now just about being just straight up like bored and like what's life without the arts and what's life without fun and creativity. It's not much of a life to just cook and clean and go to bed again.
Yeah, I mean, this episode kind of deviates from real Pioneer Town because these kids are bored in the context of growing up in the 2000s and having video games and like the nascent internet and TV and cartoons.
Well, and also if they were like real pioneers, they'd be like doing so much labor, they'd be so passed out. They wouldn't even be bored. The things that they choose to be pioneers about is random in the Kid Nation, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, in real pioneer times, these kids pioneer times. These kids were out in the fields or the mines or whatever, what have you, with their
probably
with
mines.
Their poppy and mammy. And when they came home at 8 p.m., lit a candle, they're like reading C.S. Lewis or books or whatever.
I thought you were gonna say CSI. I'd be like, what? Did CSI start as a book?
CSI Bonanza City.
They're on day 23 of their Bonanza journey, so we're really, I guess we're halfway. How many days did they do? 40? 30?
Well, this is episode 8 of 13, I believe.
Yeah, so they still have some ways to go. We're not done. So no. I think it's now, just like a quarantine, they realize, we have to keep doing. I think they've all realized, we have to keep doing this, and the novelty has worn off a bit.
Yeah, and
for
also,
the kids.
Yeah, and if you're a kid who's stuck it out this long, it'd be kind of crazy to like
leave at this point,
especially since you have 5 or 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 6 more chances to become a $20,000 Gold Star winner.
Best Kid award.
Kid.
So basically, the episode starts off being bored. Sophia, being the avant-garde artist that she is, does another performance piece in the town square.
I've been really bored in Bonanza lately, so I laid down in the middle of town, and I was unresponsive, just like this.
Like a domino effect. The children notice her, and they start to lay on each other. And this is a cute moment. I know the CBS grandparent audience was really like cumming their pants when they saw this because they're just like, wow, this is... Look at when you're a kid, you're just so bored. You lay in the meadow, and all the kids laid upon each other.
It was very it was cute, but it was also kind of creepy in that it reminded me of like the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq, where the Americans were standing over the Iraqi prisoners and like forcing them to like put shit in their mouths, and because all the kids started standing around Sophia, and it was very like grim and morbid.
Oh, see, my brain went to like Babysitter's Club, where they all like lay on each other and they talk to each other while like kind of doing that, like you lay your head on my stomach and I lay my head on your stomach, and you kind of like interweave.
Babysitter's Club took place in Iraq in 2005, right?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, Babysitter's Club is a prequel to Black Hawk Down. Is that the same war?
No, that's Mogadishu in Africa.
See, we just were raised on different values and different
we should add Black Hawk Down to our quarantine list.
Well, I'm a big Josh Hartnett fan. I don't even know if you want me to catch.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No,
you have. Okay.
I have.
I was gonna say he's like the main guy in it.
I'm just like obsessed with Josh Hartnett.
And Orlando Bloom is in it for a very hot minute.
Oh, does he?
There's a lot of 2000s hunks in it.
Ooh, Josh Hartnett and I had like a lot of he was my poster boy. Like I had a lot of posters of him. Did you have like posters of like hotties?
I didn't have posters of hotties, but I had like posters from like video game magazines.
Okay.
I mean, I had like posters of like ill repute, but I didn't put them on my walls.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, anyways, I'm bored. Moving on. I'm just kidding. So yeah, they're laying down. I think Jared has some good quotes about like art being absent.
Dance, theater, play, art, all these things are absent in Bonanza City. Would you like to know one of the causes of the Dark Ages? They ditched art and entertainment.
We also see a goth girl for the first time.
We do see this goth girl, and I don't really know who she is, but the goth girl and who is it? Markel, who's in the newsboy cap normally in the leather jacket.
Yeah,
they're kind of talking about how bored they also are, and with DK. And I'm like, I don't know who this goth girl is, but I'm digging her energy. And Markel is just being his great self. So DK, being the leader that he is, goes and rings the bell, and everyone's like, what's the bell being rung for?
Yeah, the town council's pissed off because this is like some parliamentary, like, you know,
we're the only ones allowed to ring the bell.
Yeah, exactly.
And so DK's like, we're ringing the bell because we are bored and we want to just let everyone know how bored we are. So yeah, I just want to let you all know that we're bored and we need to do and he's like, we need to do something. What are we going to do? The town council, you better step your pussies up and make sure we're not bored anymore, or we're going to behead you. And so then they have their little journal meeting, and in that meeting, I don't even remember what the journal said. I think it was just like, I guess you're bored, so have a talent show.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they come back and have a new meeting to have a talent show, and they announce it to the kids. Kids go wild, as you would for a talent show. Fun fact about me, in 5th grade, there was a competition to name the talent show of the year, for it to be the talent show every year.
To name it?
To like give it a title. So I submitted the title, Razzle Dazzle. And the variety talent show every year from then on was called Razzle Dazzle 2003. Cool? No, I mean, it was like a vote, and like I was like in the tiny school paper that my name won. So
well, you might have answered my question, but I was going to ask you: have you ever performed in a talent show?
Duh, I performed in the talent show like every year. I mean, typically, especially, and I guess groups of boys do this too, but I feel like the big thing for groups of girls is very strange choreographed dances, almost like Mean Girls. That Christmas scene dance was very like accurate for like what
Santa baby.
Maybe we didn't do it as like slutty and like junior high school, but I feel like we did a lot of dances to like Grease and like you know, kind of like feel good, safe ABBA, you know, that kind of stuff. My mom did choreograph in the 3rd grade talent show, me and a group of girlfriends dressed up as cats, and we did a mime routine where we all played as cats.
You were a Jellicle cat?
I was almost a Jellicle cat, but it was honestly, our performance was way better than Cats. Pablo and I tried to watch Cats, and we stopped. And if anyone has a reason to go on, let us know, but it was hard. I can get down with bad, and I just didn't know what was going on with the cats.
I mean, I heard over and over people saying like, yeah, no, everyone knew going into this, at least if you knew the play, is that it's an insane play that literally is just introductions of cats for 2 hours and then it ends. Like there's no story. It's just introductions.
Which is kind of like it reminded me of The Room, but The Room at least had more of a story because I love how The Room, everyone's either entering or leaving at any given time. There's no staying.
Well, that's Tommy Wiseau's like broken brain.
I love his broken brain
interpretation of human interaction. Well, you know, I was in a talent show one time.
You were?
And I mean, I was a very, very shy boy, so I cannot believe I actually did this. But either in 2nd or 3rd grade,
you did pet puppetry of the penis.
Yeah. I did a vagina monologue.
Oh my God.
No, in like 3rd grade for Hebrew school talent show at Wilshire Boulevard Temple in Los Angeles in K-Town, my mom and my best friend at the time, Diego, different from the Diego you know, and his brother Claudio, the 3 of us were like Mexican Jewish boys. We looked like brothers. And we all loved like goofy comedies.
Wow.
So our parents were like, hey, you guys should do the 3 Amigos.
Cute. See, that's some talent show bullshit if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, so our parents wrote like a 5-minute script combining all of the best
They
Three
probably
Amigos.
loved that, those parents.
We got to put Three Amigos on our quarantine list. That is
I've never seen
awesome
it, actually.
Oh, it's so funny.
I know the...
We're the Three Amigos!
It's just like 3 white idiots fly into this poor Mexican village, and they think that they're like actually the villagers think that they're actual like banderos or something, but they're just Steve Martin in a Mexican outfit, and so they have to save the village from this bad guy. Anyways,
Are they like missionaries or just like regular white
no,
people?
they're like 1930s performers who dress up in like Mexican garb and big sombreros.
Oh, is it in the 30s?
Yeah, it's like 30s or 40s.
Oh, it's a throwback.
And they do like weird, goofy songs like "My Little Buttercup is the sweetest."
Sing, Pablo, sing.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like Galaxy Quest. Great mistaken identity comedy.
Okay. Well, that's a cute talent.
Yeah, and I cannot believe I did that.
Do you have any pictures?
No, my mom fucked up.
Oh, yeah, that is a huge fuck up. Maybe you should. Would you ever be one of those people that recreates an old baby picture side by side? Yes or no? Is that a...
That's not, the mic did not go out. I just stared at the love of my life who I've lived with for 2 years asking me that question.
I know. Anyway, I mean, core will drive you to wild stuff. Also have to note that once they announced the talent show, this was an amazing shot that I'm glad the camera person caught and that post decided to keep in, was they're like, we're doing the talent show. And then Markel, you know what I'm about to say. And then Markel in his little newsboy hat does a high kick like he's like, isn't there a character in like Fat Albert that does like high kicks all the time? Or isn't there like kicking or something?
I don't know, but he's like a rockette. He like kicks his leg
as high as he can, and then he pulls his groin and he goes and he starts like grabbing his like little D area, and like I'm so happy they kept it. It was so funny, and you know that was like just for them. Like they like because you could have really easily missed it watching it at home. It wasn't like that obvious, but if you noticed it, you can't unsee it. Really great moment.
Oh, so funny.
And then we meet Kennedy, who comes out of nowhere, like a bat out of hell.
Yeah. So after the town council debates, they're like, we're going to give the gold star to whoever wins the talent
That's
show.
what they've agreed upon.
Then we meet Kennedy, who
is like fine,
just like a normal kid.
She seems sweet, like not offensive.
Yeah.
Don't feel. I'm in the middle about Kennedy. She seems nice.
It's clear why we've only met her 8 episodes in.
Yeah, and they're like, fuck, she, spoiler alert, won this talent show, so we have to talk about her.
But yeah, so we meet Kennedy, who is going to do like kind of like a stand-up routine, but we also see what all the other kids are planning to put on.
Yeah, so Jared's like, of course. Like, I'm wondering, this is what I want to know when we talk to Jared eventually. Hopefully he's not dead. There is a fake YouTube video out. I think it's fake that's like rest in peace, Jared. And it's like all these insane scenes of him in Kid Nation.
Well, it says rest in peace, so it has to be true.
But he's like, I'm gonna do Shakespeare.
I'm gonna do King Lear and Henry IV because Shakespeare's the bod.
I plan to do a Shakespeare monologue. Shakespeare is one of the greatest poets and playwrights of all time. What's to say? A very little.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm gonna do Shakespeare, which seems like I'm just like, do you like, I don't know, I guess I was like a kid who thought I was smart too, and like I would like take my grandma's old copy of like, I can't even make up smart book terms, like Homer, like those big books, the Odyssey, and I'd be like, because Wishbone read them, you know, and I was like, oh, I'm smart too. So I'm like, does this kid really like Shakespeare? But I guess he kind of, maybe it's the only book available. Olivia's gonna do stand up, which is
hilarious because she is the mean girl, if you remember.
She's the mean girl. She at first, when we first meet Olivia in the Kid Nation, she's like sweet. Then the Christianity episode really drives her over the edge. And then she gets really mean to Anjay. So
yeah,
Olivia's not really in my, like, I liked those sisters, but she's kind of fallen off my radar. But she's going to do stand-up, which is cringe.
At this point, but before you saw her actual routine, what stand-up comedian do you think she was going to be most like? She's like I thought in my mind like a roast comic, like Jeselnik or...
Who do I think she would be most like? I don't know. Like, she clearly watches like Comedy Central stand-up specials at night. Which we'll reveal later on. But like... She's
got fucking like...
I bet she watches like Paula Poundstone. Wouldn't be shocked. Like, she kind of has that vibe, you know?
I mean, this was only like... I don't know. I was going to bring up Paula Poundstone's...
What, is she bad? Is she canceled?
Literally, like the week that 9/11 happened, she got convicted. Let me look this up so I can be 100% sure. But she got like convicted of some like child abuse thing.
Really? Was it Olivia? Because Olivia stole her act.
Yeah, she beat Olivia's ass.
But while you look that up, I'll get into the Kentucky dinner because
Yes.
so we meet Kennedy, who's from Kentucky, and then she's bonded with who is that other girl? Savannah. Is that Savannah? Okay, Savannah. There's like a handful of girls in Kid Nation that look like cute, frumpy moms, and Savannah's one of them. And I thought she kind of looks like the chicken saver from the early episodes, but
she's a little cutie. Oh, wait, she's not that same person?
That's not the same girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they're both like little cutie pies.
So Savannah's missing home. She's from Kentucky, and Kennedy's from Kentucky too. So they've bonded over this Kentucky like lifestyle. And they're decided that they're going to make Kentucky dinner.
We're having sauteed red bell peppers and dumplings. Plan for dinner tonight is a Kentucky dinner.
Since we're both from Kentucky, we're just trying to get a little piece of Kentucky as much as we can here in Bonanza City, New Mexico.
And this is a capital K, capital D Kentucky dinner.
Okay, if George W. Bush is like the drink every time thing, Kentucky dinner is that this episode. They say Kentucky dinner so many times.
It's Kentucky dinner!
I don't really know what Kentucky dinner is because the only recipe or ingredients that they mention during Kentucky dinner making is roasted red peppers and dumplings, which doesn't sound very Kentucky dinner.
Yeah, I mean, you're from Chicago. I'm from LA. Like, what comes to mind when you just hear like Kentucky
I would
cuisine?
think like fried chicken, some mashed potatoes,
KFC, but like
maybe like a pot pie if you want to go more traditional.
Probably barbecue, I would assume. They're close to like.
I don't think you necessarily associate Kentucky with barbecue.
Not necessarily, but they're close to some of the regions that are.
Actually, St. Louis is known for its barbecue.
St. Louis,
I think every
Memphis
city has like its own style of barbecue to a degree. But Kentucky, I would think it's like a classic plate of like green beans and like grits and like I don't know some southern food. I'd see a fried country steak. How about that?
Yeah, but no, it's roasted red peppers and dumplings.
But chicken and dumplings is very southern. But the roasted red pepper is what threw me. And you know, I'm a huge roasted red pepper fan. I'm roasting red peppers. Tell them, babe. How many roast? I roast red peppers left and right.
Yeah, you put at least one on top of the kitchen stove. At least once a week.
I roast it up. It's great for spicing up a box of mac and cheese, adding a little roasted red pepper and goat cheese into a normal ass box of mac. Really recommend. Do scrape off the black bits and then dice it up. Very delicious.
But the way they describe Kentucky dinner, the way they say Kentucky dinner in a sentence is the same way you would say like, oh yeah, I'm going to go back home for Thanksgiving. Ooh, that Thanksgiving dinner my mom makes is so amazing. Like what's your Thanksgiving dinner? What's your Thanksgiving dinner?
They don't even say it like that. They say it like it's almost like an existing brand. Like, oh, I'm going to get Taco Bell. But they say it like, I'm having Kentucky dinner tonight.
Yeah, it's like someone saying, let's get Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let's get KFC. It has so much like weight and gravitas to it. And
yeah, so I'm hooked. I want to know what Kentucky dinner is. Savannah's really cute. I will say this episode is a little bit more of a heavy produced episode, and which is not always my fave. I like when natural drama occurs with the kids, but whatever. And it's new character central in this episode.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Well, so was last episode the first one without Taylor saying a single word?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the one.
And this one, she has like maybe a line.
Yeah.
She is on the down.
Maybe she did something shady behind the scenes, and they were like, "We're pulling her."
Maybe she's the one who gave the bleach to DK to drink.
Oh my god! I mean, that would have like a lot of loaded, weird connotations.
Yeah, I don't think we've brought this up yet, but one of the most notorious things that happened on Kid Nation happened off camera, which was that DK apparently drank what he thought was like water or like sparkling water,
right?
And it was bleach.
Yeah, so like I think there's been some lawsuits circling around the Kid Nation. I mean, right now we're still in the recap review mode, but I think we'll get our investigative journalist hats on soon once we start talking to some of these kids now adult nation.
Oh, by the way, Paula Poundstone.
Yeah.
So
we have the facts.
She began serving as a foster parent in the 90s and fostered 8 children, eventually adopting 3 of them. And then a month after 9/11, she was charged with felony child endangerment.
Wow.
And 3 counts of lewd acts upon a girl younger than 14.
Really? I didn't know she was canceled.
She did not admit to any of the lewd acts, but she did plead no contest to the felony child endangerment.
Yikes.
She's also an asexual and atheist, according to Wikipedia.
Every A and a rapist.
Oh my God.
I mean, allegedly. And also, I just never even heard of this. But I guess if it happened in 2001, you're not really, unless it's being brought up over and over, you're not really going to hear much about it. We also meet Migle and Natasha.
Migle.
And they're just like two girlfriends. They're on the blue team. And we kind of just get a little intro to them as friends. And they're like both 13-ish. And they're like, she likes shopping in boys and I do too. So we're friends. And I was like, I relate. These like two are like so relatable.
Yeah.
Alex very cutely introduces them.
Some people have like said that Natasha and Migle are Paris and Nicole.
I just want to wash my hair. I feel so disgusting.
Yeah.
My hair.
But I don't really know what that feeling means.
Which
Wait, you're saying this episode was produced? What?
I know. He was like, they were like, say they're like Paris and Nicole, and he goes, they're like Paris and Nicole, and then probably like after is like, but I don't really know who that is.
It's so cute.
It's really cute, and also I love I just love a time capsule moment. I love referring to Paris and Nicole because kids now wouldn't know Paris and Nicole. Like that wouldn't like spark like who,
I know, which is so crazy because they live in this Kim K influenced world, which is because of Paris and Nicole.
Also, I guess if you are a Zoomer, Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie had an amazing reality TV show I think started in 2005 called The Simple Life.
Yeah.
Paris Hilton, heiress to the Hilton hotels, Nicole Richie, Lionel Richie's daughter. I guess they're like doing stuff now, but they were really paired together back in the day, and they were doing wild shit all the time.
Well, at the time, if you're a Zoomer, Paris Hilton was
or you might be like a fucked up millennial that doesn't know your history.
Yeah,
so.
Paris Hilton was only known for her famous One Night in Paris sex tape, which came out at the exact same time. I wonder how that happened. And Nicole Richie was totally unknown, and now Nicole Richie's actually like a good actress. She does a bunch of stuff. She's like.
I don't know if she's like, what is she in?
She was in Good News, that Tina Fey produced comedy that was on NBC for a few seasons. She's like,
she's married to a good
supporting actress.
She's married to a good Charlotte.
Her and Cameron Diaz are sister-in-laws.
So yeah, that's your history lesson for that. You could also, you could also be a boomer. Maybe that's also how you don't know. I don't know. Who knows? You just might not know. So they're Paris and Nicole, but Greg and Blaine, who I don't know what boy equivalent they would be to this puzzle piece, are bitches.
Chris Pontius and Bam Margera.
They are very jackass in their vibes. So they go to Andre and they're like, we're pissed at Paris and Nicole, aka Migle and Natasha. They don't do shit for dick. Mm-hmm. And we're going to throw the competition if they don't do something.
Yeah.
He's like, we don't care if we're laborers. Like, they're not doing anything. And Andre's like, that's dumb as fuck. Like, you really want to scrub toilets? He's like, we'll make them scrub the toilets. And then we're sitting here watching and like, well, if they're not working now, why would they scrub the toilets? Like, doesn't make any sense.
But they're so like dumb that they instantly are like, oh, okay, sure thing, Greg. Maybe it's because he has that scary scab on his chin that is returned.
It's returned. It's his stress scab, I think.
Oh my God. I mean, it's kind of amazing. All of the teenage kids on this show, none of them really have acne.
No.
Which is surprising, considering they're not washing or bathing themselves.
It's said that sometimes overwashing can produce more acne because you're ridding your body of the oils it needs.
I guess, but when you're a teen, you're just nothing but oil. Like,
Sure.
you're like
maybe
70% water.
Maybe the dirt is clogging their pores and they're just not even forming. They're just like void of skin issues. Besides Greg's massive chin scab.
Maybe every night Karsh enters each cabin.
Oh my God.
And takes one of those wipes. What are those things called? The little pads. And just gently wipes down each child's face.
Like a
one
little
by one.
Neutrogena.
And then he kisses Alex on the forehead.
Aww.
And then he kisses him on the tooth.
But Migle and Natasha, while they're being described as this Paris and Nicole, they don't work. Once they're confronted and have this meeting that they need to work, they feel bad about it. They're like, oh, like, we should work. Like, they're not bitches at all. They're like, yeah, we should.
Yeah. Instantly, they're like, oh, yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah, so, and then Alex and Savannah meet up for a second, and Alex does this little walk. I mean, we'll post pics and vids eventually, but, like, he does these little waddles that's just really cute, and he's just telling her, like, hey, what's up? You're, like, my friend. Are you okay? Kentucky dinner was amazing.
Oh, yeah, no, he says the exact quote of, well, he compliments her on the Kentucky dinner, but then as she tells him about her homesickness, he goes,
The Kentucky dinner really increased homesickness, probably.
So he's like, he feels bad that Savannah's homesick. We're getting teased that Savannah might dip and leave the competition. And you know, again, we're used to this song and dance by now, so I will believe it when we're in the fucking town council meeting, and we'll see.
Also, the last time we saw a kid leave, we he was rescued by Guylan, who was like, yo, by the way, we're about to give you 20,000 smackaroos.
So
get your
stay
ass
put.
back in
I think
there.
you should still be able to get it even if you leave. Like you'd be like, collect my cash and go. So it's showdown time.
This is one of my favorites so far.
It was fun. I mean, also because this one wasn't like, it was a little gross, but it wasn't like backbreaking labor and like ridiculous. It was actually like a kid appropriate challenge for the first time ever.
Yeah, for the first time so this one is the bubblegum art challenge.
Right.
And basically each team has a paint by numbers canvas in front of them, and the kids have to put quarters into one of those classic gumball machines where the ball rolls down the thing
Slowly.
and then chew each of the 4 colors of bubblegum, give them to the team leader, who then puts the corresponding color to the canvas, sticks it right on top, and then whoever, makes the photo of the canvas first, they win.
Yeah, so pretty simple. Like, of course, it's like, ew, I have to touch your spitty bubblegum, which I feel like is a huge... Bubblegum was all the rage in the late 90s to early mid-aughts. Like, I feel like your Harriet the Spy, your Olsen twin movies. Like, there was always a character who was, like, addicted to bubblegum. It was kind of like a cool, badass vibe.
It was like a plot device. Wasn't
was.
there a kid in Hey Arnold who always chewed? Or
Yes.
Like bubblegum in hair was always a big thing.
I think just bubblegum was, like, kids' cigarettes in a way. So I think it just showed, like, you're, like, just cool.
Well, did you ever eat candy cigarettes?
I mean, I would, like, play with them, but honestly, they weren't, like, that candy wasn't good.
No, but it was bubblegum. You blew on it because it was so old and ashy that it was like, whoo, whoo.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you would chew it.
Yeah. So they're doing this gum thing. I think it's Guylan tells Karsh that he's gonna like throw up, and he says it in this like sarcastic ass tone that's like very funny.
Yeah, Guylan is very sassy towards Karsh, but I don't blame him because you got to remember these kids are basically having to chew like 10 pieces of gum each
On those hard candies too. Those gums aren't just gum; they're like the jawbreaker type gums.
Yeah, they're not like as hard as a jawbreaker, but especially as a little kid, they're the type of gumball that you have to like really chew down on it for a solid like minute before it becomes more of gum like.
Yeah.
This would be so much easier if these kids were chewing like Bubblicious or something.
It wasn't easy gum, so that's the hardest part of the chow. Campbell on the green team is a machine, though. He's like dancing.
Campbell?
He was the one dancing.
Oh yeah.
And chewing, and he's like, I love sugar, yum yum yum.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Kobayashi, the hot dog eating champion.
Yeah.
Because he had his method where he would literally shake his belly as he swallowed and chewed, and it would help him move it down his stomach.
I believe that. I really enjoy standing while eating. I feel like it helps you digest more than having like a crunched sitting stomach. And I think moving, you're also like kind of burning calories a little bit by moving.
Yeah.
So like it keeps you, rather than in a stasis, you're actively engaging your digestive system.
For sure.
If you could bulk eat any food, like in a Kobayashi style eating contest, which foods would you eat? And feel free to list more than one, because I won't be able to list just one.
Well, I mean, I know yours is macaroni and cheese.
That's definitely one.
I mean, well, first of all, I think we had this question before.
No, on the pod or just in life?
I probably both.
Okay.
But I'll try and answer again. I mean, maybe like cup of noodles. Like cup of noodles never fill me up, and I love them. But after I eat 2, I'm like, you know what? That's enough sodium for the week, and I have kidney stones, so I should probably not be eating this much cup of noodles.
Would you do like the cup of noodle competition, like broth and all?
Well, it depends. That's a good question to look up, because one of the major food eating competitions, like when you look up like Kobayashi, he's not just a hot dog eating champion. He enters these.
He does a lot of stuff.
And one of the competitions is matzo ball soup.
Oh.
So I wonder if the soup is part of it.
It must be, I think. Because for me, like, I think I could definitely do mac and cheese. I can demolish mac. Same with, like, most pastas, like a spaghetti eating contest.
For sure.
Sushi, I think I do really well in.
Yeah.
I feel like I can put down more pieces than your average.
Yeah.
And cereal, but I wouldn't want to be milk included. I would want to just do pure...
What?
No milk. Like, I don't want to be judged by finishing. I don't like drinking cereal milk, is what I'm saying.
But you still eat it.
I would still eat it with the milk, but I don't want to have to be like a completed bowl is drinking the milk as well.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That's how I want to be judged.
That's like the only milk I enjoy is cereal milk.
I can't drink it. I don't know. I think it's once it's compromised with sugar, I just don't even want to touch it. I also don't really drink milk.
The milk is compromised.
The milk is compromised. Campbell dances his way through the challenge. So green wins. For the first time in their lives, because it's the easiest challenge to possibly win. So there they go. Then yellow.
Well, blue is the merchant.
Blue. Oh, yeah. It's green, blue as merchant, red as the cooks, and yellow last place. And they did not win. They didn't complete the game.
Oh, yeah. Well, the reason they didn't complete, we forgot to mention, is that the kids keep giving them wet gum, and the wet gum is way harder to stick, and pieces of gum start falling.
Zach's getting real frustrated. It's just not sticking.
And it falls into the dirt, so it's not like he can like re-chew some other person's gum.
Right. So they don't get a reward. And this reward options were really good. They could have either won. So they open up the first prize. So they're not getting any of these. They're just showing the kids. Prize one was all this paint, like tons of paint, all in the classic Kid Nation colors. And
red. We got blue. we got yellow. We got green.
And they could have painted the whole town, and it was like enough paint to even like paint the fucking buildings and stuff.
Basically, they were inspired by the classic musical Western from the 70s, Paint Your Wagon.
Yeah.
Gonna paint your wagon. Gonna paint.
And then the other prize, the big box drops. It is a block party.
I know.
And it cuts to like little fake instrumental, like Little John music.
You could have had an all-night block party in Bonanza City. Dancing, music, food, and fun.
Of course I was mad. We didn't get a block party.
They could have had an all-night block party.
I know. We see Blaine sea walking to a fake Freak-A-Leek cover, and it's just like, what might have been?
I know. It's a really, like, I wish producers would have just stepped in and been like, add 10 more minutes on the clock. Like, who cares? Like, who cares?
Honestly, while watching these competitions, in my mind, I'm like, I think these time limits are like made up in post.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think they just record Karsh going 10 more minutes, 60 seconds, and then they just do it.
Yeah, this was like a really missed opportunity because this block party would have been what you imagine from an early aughts junior high bump and grind Pen 15 style dance party. We would have seen flirting. We would have seen busting out dance move. I mean, imagine Alex standing on the side of the wall being like, I don't know how to dance. And then Savannah takes his hand and they like slow dance and then they kiss and then they have a Kentucky dinner. So I'm a little like, honestly, after they didn't get this, I was kind of mad at the episode, just a scotch. But that's my journey and it's where I'm going. So it's talent show time. If you could believe it or not, I forgot about the talent show.
I mean, the talent show is fantastic, but this episode could have been an all-time. It would have been on like Vulture's 50 best episomes of TV.
I think so.
Or something like that.
So Markel is the MC, and he's doing really good.
Oh, Markel's amazing.
Welcome to the first Bonanza City Talent Show. Come on, make some noise!
I mean, his host reel is going to look great after this moment of hosting the talent show. He's wearing his leather jacket. And so we start to see some of the kids' talents. Kelsey are like George Bush's stupid / says the funniest shit person is like a piano virtuoso.
Yeah.
Kelsey's piano playing was amazing. I honestly thought that Chopin had come back from the dead.
She's really
amazing.
Talented.
And another piano virtuoso is the kid, the Jew Crew kid.
He does like a Ben Queller-esque song and singing and piano.
Straight up a piano man. I know Billy Joel's not Jewish, but he wishes he was.
Yep. And Jared does his Shakespeare and he does all right.
What's to say? A very little must we do, and all is done. Then let the trumpet sound and the tucket sonance, and though we upon this mountain's basis by took stand for idle watch.
I forgot to mention he was kind of feeling nervous because he finally like opened up a Shakespeare sonnet and was like, this is too hard to memorize in 5 hours. It's
but
like,
I already said I'd do it.
It's like, yeah.
Also, Olivia the whole time is, before the talent show, they're teasing that she's also nervous. Like, why did I sign up for stand-up? That's so hard. And everyone's nervous, basically. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And then we see this Greg and Blaine also do this Romeo and Juliet routine in drag, and they dress up in dresses. The crowd goes wild for this.
God. I mean, there is nothing funnier when you're 8 years old than seeing two 15-year-old big kids.
Like bros.
Put on dresses.
braces. They have braces. They're bros, and they're also you can tell they're not doing it like they think it's funny. They're goofing off, like they're having just a goof.
And also, you know, like look, dressing in drag has a long history in comedy. We have Some Like It Hot, the Kids in the Hall, Big Mama's House, Big Mama's House 2,
Mrs. Doubtfire,
Big Mama's 3, Like Father Like Son. Tyler Perry presents Boo a Medea Halloween. It's just it's in the lexicon of comedy.
It's just for the culture.
Yeah.
And then there's this girl who we've never met before. She sings a song. We'll have to like just throw the clip in here, but she just sings like, haters don't talk cause I keep them in fear.
I'm the baddest, yeah, up in here. Haters hate, but they don't talk cause I keep them in fear. Cause daddy don't play, and mama said wait, but I'm cool anyway.
She has an amazing, I don't think we ever get her name.
We never really get her name. We never really meet her. She's like a cute little cutie patootie, and she's like, haters don't talk cause I keep them in fear. So that was cool. And then Olivia is up to bat with her stand-up routine.
And she has a rocky beginning because Laurel heckles her.
All right, now being a comedian is harder than it looks. Olivia, speak up!
She just says, speak up, bitch. No one can hear you.
Yes, she heckles her.
I think she's running tech. But yes, anyway.
She's running tech.
So Olivia does stand up. She's major Burbank Flappers energy. You know,
Yes.
She's definitely a feature in like a ugly comedy poster that you all know and love.
Yeah, she's opening for House Sparks at Flappers University.
But she's honestly killing her tight five in Bonanza City.
The kids love it. She has the cadence of stand-up comedian.
Being a comedian is much harder than it looks. I mean, really, people look at me and they laugh.
She clearly practices. I think she's probably done like a kid stand-up work. Like she was playing it like she's like just signed up for it randomly, but you could tell she tried really hard and has like studied some kind of comedy before. Like it didn't feel like out of nowhere.
She's in her room practicing like Jim Gaffigan's Hot Pocket.
Yeah. And then Kennedy comes up. I don't even know. She's just like a very much like a low pony soccer girl who's just that earnest dork. So I do appreciate her for that. But she puts on silly sunglasses. She puts on like a feather boa, and she's like, I'm Kennedy, and I'm gonna start with a rap and then show you my wicked dance moves.
Hi, my name is Kennedy. I'm bringing the melody. I dance like a penguin. So watch this buffoon rock this saloon.
And then she just is like bloop bloop bloop, and then she goes like bloop bloop bloop, and then all the kids also go wild. They're like all their confessions like, Kennedy's just raw, dude. Kennedy just does that thing.
I told
Like
Kennedy to go to the Comedy Store potluck. She's fucking sick.
yeah, so she's just doing that, and then Savannah's like, I have an announcement. I'm staying, and Kentucky dinner's on me. So that was kind of random. So we didn't have to wait till town council. She was just like, I'm staying. For all of you heard the rumors that I'm leaving, I'm not. I'm here, and that's cool. And so now it's time to vote. Everyone's like voting, which I thought they were just going to do who won the talent show, but I guess they're voting on who, whatever. The rules here are
I guess they were voting for who won the talent show, and then from there. But,
so
and Devad, who didn't even perform, is like, hey, I should win the gold star.
I love, a consistent queen. I appreciate her. I'll get you on my side eventually.
David ass, backwards ass.
It is David back. I bet her dad's probably named David and was like, I like Devad. So basically everyone's like, Kennedy was great because she's funny. I don't even know if they kind of mention anybody else in that like nomination time.
Olivia herself is one of the people who votes for Kennedy, even though she is her stand-up rival.
She does. And
it's Leno versus Letterman.
I mean, Kennedy doesn't really do stand-up. She just kind of goofs off on stage. But people like the raw. They like that. They like that she's not a politician. They like that she's just Kennedy.
People like Jerry Lewis in France. We'll never understand that. But.
So Karsh was all like, it's time for the meeting. Okay. So Karsh is like, hey, was there any talents that like weren't done? And then DK was like, Laurel, sing for us, you angel of music. And Laurel's like,
I don't want to.
Hang on, let me clean some of the food out of my braces. Let me clean some of the Kentucky dinner out of my braces real quick.
Some of the gum out of my braces from the challenge.
And then Kennedy, not Kennedy, Kennedy and Laurel are the same vibes because they're braces and whatever. Laurel busts out an Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace. so sweet, the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Amazing Grace.
It was an amazing Grace. She was good. You can tell she's like naturally gifted singer. She does the singing lessons. Yeah, what a nice surprise. I'm sad Laurel didn't perform, but that was like a beautiful Stars Born moment. DK was Bradley Cooper to her Gaga.
And they were at a drag show when she was discovered.
They were at a drag show when she was discovered. So, no spoiler, no surprise here, but Kennedy wins the gold star, and Kennedy's like, thank you guys. Like, and I think the main thing that people are saying about Kennedy was like, a lot of people work hard and like they fight for the nomination, but Kennedy's just a good vibe. She's a cool chick. She does work too, so it's not like she doesn't work. And she's just like chill to be around. She's fun in the room, is what She's fun in the room.
Also, we'll likely never see her again after this episode.
So take your 20 grand and shove it. And so Kennedy wins. She calls her mom. Her mom looks like she's currently at a sock hop, and had very wispy bangs, very fun, Kentucky bangs, and. Yeah, and then the end credits just are with this piano sing-along, which was like really cute for all the Kid Nation babies. They're just having a very old-fashioned fun. Sometimes you don't need the block party or the Kentucky dinner. You just have the piano and some root beer shots and your pals.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a good life.
It's a cute, feel-good ep. I don't know. Kennedy was fine. The newness, I feel like in the early episodes, people were more eased in and who we got to know a little bit more here and there. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's like a lot of harsh intros in this episode.
Well, you can tell. I mean, they went so hard on making Taylor the bad guy, the bad girl for so many episodes. And then they were just treading water. And then finally, once it got to the point where she got removed from town council, it was like, oh, so much of the drama was just this one girl that we overproduced. What are we going to do now? We need to introduce new characters ASAP.
Yeah, I don't even necessarily miss Taylor drama or like the Yellow Team bullshit. No. But I wouldn't mind, like, if you're going to we're going to harsh introduce characters on episode 8, I wouldn't mind a few more harsh introductions in previous episodes and upcoming episodes. Like, I wouldn't mind I want to meet all the kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the funniest things about Kid Nation is that of the 40 kids that start and probably 37, 36 that remain, we really only meet like half of them.
Yeah. We're never going to meet them. Even like the girl who did her like, haters gonna play. I was like, I want to, even if you just did in the beginning of the episode, like, hey, I'm like Carol and I'm from Texas and like haters gonna play. Like, I don't know. Like, it'd be just cute to meet them.
I mean, they probably recorded those type of intros for every kid.
Oh, totally.
But because they had literally offered nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, I know this from working in reality TV as well, that I don't know why they always make casts so big. I think it's because they want to they don't know who's going to be the star, typically is why, and they don't know where the drama is going to unfold. Mm-hmm. So basically, there's tons of people who've been on shows that probably had no speaking parts or no this, but they're like part of the cast and they're part of the ensemble and they go to the reunions, but you're like, who the hell was this person? God, was there a Kid Nation probably not. Was there a reunion
episode?
Yeah, no, not that exists. I know they've reunion together, the kids themselves, but
yeah, just like here and there if they're like in the same.
I wonder if they got into like a Kid Nation Zoom call with all 40.
Spoiler alert.
I know. But do you have a gold star recipient?
Yeah, I mean, this was a tough one because the kids really put on a show. They fucking wild out. It was like an episode of Wild 'N Out, hosted by Nick Cannon. I would give my gold star, and this ain't a Holocaust gold star, but my gold star goes to the Jew crew leader, Eric. I loved his Piano Man rendition. I think during the quarantine, I'm going to try and get into Billy Joel.
Okay.
Growing up on the West Coast, you don't really hear much Billy Joel on the radio, but fun fact, Piano Man was written about a bar in K-Town.
Oh, which bar? Do you know?
I'm not sure if it's still open, but it's like right off like fucking Wilton and Wilshire, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll look it up. Yeah.
Cute. I like that. I think he like technically won the talent show.
I love his voice.
This is one of my favorite I was going to call him Jilly Bowl. Jilly Bowl. This is one of my favorite Billy Joel sounds.
You should have known by now. There's a great Death Races song that samples that. You should never argue with. Well, it's from Dipset actually. Dipset sampled it first.
Oh, facts. I think I'm gonna give my gold star. I'm gonna give the gold star to. My default kind of always just goes to Alex because I think he was like really cute in this episode once again. But if I'm really gonna get like who like deserves it for the week,
How about the girl who does the bird calls?
what bird calls?
All I have written down in my notes is just bird calls because we never got her name or his name. I don't even remember. And we just the talent show started off with some kid doing bird calls.
I'm dedicating this to my bird AJ because he taught me it. That's all.
You know what? I'm going to give it to Laurel. Like, I know it's like you can't, but I am because this is just like speculation. She was a great singer. Honestly, probably would have actually won the talent show.
Yeah.
And the green team won for the first time,
True.
like ever. So I think she did a stand-up job. And she's like the most liked council member.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Her crew loves her.
And I want to
even
see
though
that
they're-
call home to mom. I want to see that Boston mom.
my
What if
God.
it's like an older Laurel with also braces? Wouldn't that be so great? But we're gonna keep chucking along. I mean, we're halfway there, living on a prayer.
Oh, yeah. We're in the home stretch. We have 9, 10, 11, 5 episodes left.
Yeah, and we haven't. I know we're definitely going to meet Blaine more. I know we've seen him a lot with Greg, but I know he's going to get more speaking parts coming up soon.
Blaine's great. Hey, any white kid who can sea walk, I love that. I mean, this was the era of Snoop Dogg, drop it like it's hot.
I really wanted to see the kids grind. Can you imagine Jared? It would have been like that meme of the kid in the club dancing with the sunglasses on at night. We'll be back in the Kid Nation next week, and yeah, giddy up.
It's Kentucky Day!